But what if it's like your baby father or the mother of your kids?
Honestly,
like that's different because
bloopers.
Can you have sex in jail?
Bitch.
It's recorded already.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, is it okay if I...
Hello!
If I was... This is so cool. Hi.
Hi guys, I'm Lovey and welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to Mind to Mad, and we got some juicy ass shit to talk about today. I want to introduce you guys to my lovely, amazing, lit ass best friend, the least person in the whole world.
You already know. We live together?
Who?
I don't know if people on your channel. Can you tell them? That we're like the best of friends and roommates at the same time.
So go ahead and introduce yourself to the lovely people. Tell them who you are.
Oh, well, my name is Bella. You know, my IG is Bella_Bigavelle. I'm just, you know, here.
I'm gonna put that under there so y'all can follow her.
Somewhere on this screen, somewhere she gonna put it. You feel me? Y'all can follow me.
Yo, so today we're gonna be talking about how to get in contact with a loved one that's in jail, especially during the coronavirus time.
Yes, sir.
It's a question for you, bitch.
Yes.
How do I get in contact with my nigga or bitch that's locked up?
Alright, first of all, depending on how he got locked up or how he or she got locked up, you want to first start by contacting the courthouses, your local precincts, and make sure if you were there in the time of the arrest that you get the badge number and that you ask them proper questions such as, is he being Miranda'd? What is he being arrested for? Can I get your badge number?
Can you have sex in jail?
Bitch. The only way you would have sex in jail, y'all, and this is not even like on no funny shit, like, is if you have like conjugal visits.
Sam, hit that.
Like, you marry somebody is the only way that you will be able to have sex. Like, it's no way. Like, if you're just a baby mother, a baby father, or like just a boyfriend, you can't. I mean, it's like little things you could do, like, you know, not wear panties on a visit, like, you know, fill your leg, stuff like that, little stuff like that. But
question: what's the difference between prison and jail?
All right, so jail is more like your local precincts and your bookings, like your where they take you before arraignment when you go to a judge. And I'm sorry.
Got the blood.
Alright, that just excited me. Prison is like, you know, we're in New York, so you're gonna complete your whole time. Jails is mostly where you sit up before you actually do your bid.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. How do I send him a letter or her a letter? Like,
sending a letter is pretty easy. You just Google is going to be your best motherfucking friend, okay? You just Google, you search their fucking number. Make sure when you search them up, they have a DIN attached to their number, which is basically their motherfucking name in jail. So
gotcha.
You put in their first and last name, give or take it, they might add their date of birth, and you give them that, and then it's going to pop up, and they'll have all of their mailing information, what house they're in, where they're located, and you could just
easily just write them, bitch. Write your nigga, girl. Write your nigga.
Who is your best friend?
Everybody want to know, like, how do I send my nigga money? How do I send my bitch money? Like,
okay, so
I just got my, you know, stimulus check. I know my nigga needs to get that, you know?
Sending money is actually, for me, kind of hard because when my brothers first were incarcerated, I couldn't figure out how to send the money because you have to go through, when they were locked up, now there's different ways. I would have to go through Western Union, and then I would have to get the booking case number, the routing number, and that was just the whole process. So now they have an app I have on my phone called JPay, where you can actually you can write the letters on there, and you pay for stamps. Stamps is like 10 cents or whatever. You just send your letters on there. You can send pictures, videos, but the videos and pictures, you know, they can't be gang signs or like. He can't be in the picture throwing up a gang sign and shit like that, or like, you know, guns, things of that nature, smoking weed, shit like that.
Regular. I want to visit him. Like, how do I go about it? Like,
visiting is the most stressful part of dealing with someone that is behind the wall, because the whole process, I'm not going to lie, is super degrading. Like, you go there, they treat you like a freaking inmate. Like, you have to take off everything. When you go there, okay, for example, Rikers Island, right? You go to Rikers Island. As soon as you get there, you got to put your stuff in the lockers outside. Then you go, you get a bin. You got to take off your sneakers, your earrings. If you have pins in your hair, ladies, if you have pins in your hair, they will not let you go in there. Pins, anything, big earrings, anything. So they take you. It's best to just wear sweatpants there. I'm telling you.
So it's sweatpants, guys.
Sweatpants.
Can you wear leggings?
No, absolutely not. If you wear leggings, your shirt has to be a damn near dress. Like,
what if you like say you spoke to like your boyfriend or your girlfriend? Like, say you spoke to them maybe like a month ago. You haven't heard from them. Like, what do I do? Like, I want to know where the fuck my nigga or my bitch at. Like, I want to make sure my nigga good.
All right, first and foremost, what you need to know is exactly where they're located. Like, what house, what jail, what precinct they're at. And most of the time, they have like an assigned guidance counselor. So you call the jail, you ask to speak to the guidance counselor, or you ask to do a wellness check on such and such inmate. Then you give the DIN number, and they can either tell you right then and there. They'll have the guidance counselor call you back with, you know, they could either went to the box, they didn't have no money on their books, they couldn't call, or, you know, something like that. They just never got to the phone. Anything could have happened. Like,
got you.
That's a good question, because a lot of people should do that, because a lot of stuff that goes on in jail, a lot of people do not know. So to do like routine wellness checks for your partner, significant other, your sibling or whatever, that's good, because these jails,
especially y'all with this coronavirus going around. I don't know if y'all seen that Instagram video where some nigga that was locked up in jail and they had him literally sleeping right next to a nigga that got corona.
Right.
In jail, my nigga, like
unsanitary.
Should I keep in contact with their family member or friend? Like, if it's my boyfriend, like, meaning like they're not my sibling, but like
all of the time. All of the time. Keep in contact with close relatives, friends, parents. Keep in contact, keep them in a loop, tell them to keep you in a loop. You know, that'll be better for everyone, and it'll be less stressful for the person that's actually in the situation.
I know this is a really hard question, but like, I know a lot of y'all want to know like, what's a good time to move on? Not if it's your sibling, but like your boyfriend or your girlfriend. Like what is a really good time to say like, I don't want to do this anymore? Or it's too much.
Regarding them when they get locked up?
Right, when they get locked up.
I feel like the best time to actually make that decision is in the beginning. Only because it's like, you need to decide either are you going to ride out with this person regardless of the circumstances, or are you hesitant? And that's kind of hard in itself. Like, so say you get to the point you're riding out with this person, they're on trial for something, and the trial prolongs, and they're prolonging for like 3 years, and you've been riding with this person for 3 years, boom, sentencing date, they get 20 years. It's like,
that's crazy.
I've been riding with you for 3 years, can I really stick it out, or, you know, I have to move on with my life? That's the situation.
But what if it's like your baby father or the mother of your kids?
Honestly,
like, that's different, because I feel like that's your fucking baby father, or that's your fucking mother of your child. Like, how I can't just move on. Like,
yeah, but at the same damn time, you got to look at it from a standpoint. It's what's good for the kids. Like, I'm not gonna keep having my kid keep coming to the jail and keep having them go through that process, because I feel like a kid has, you know, you have to learn to do that by yourself. A kid is not gonna always want to do that. If a kid just be like, you know, my father was never there, he ain't in jail, I don't want to do nothing with him. The mother could be like, no, you know, I don't want to have nothing to do with that. And at this time, you got 20 years and your kids is like fucking 20.
That's a fact. I didn't think about that.
Yeah, your kids is 20. They grown. My daddy was not here this whole time. The fucking kids been more there for the daddy than the daddy been there for the kid.
Basically, definitely. Do you think people should bring the kids to the jail, or like, what's your opinion on that? Like,
I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I feel like if a person is not doing that much time, and
what's not that much time though? Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
What's that much time really? Like 5 years?
It's all depending on you though. Like, if you could stick it out for 5 years, you can stick it out for. There's people that can't even stick it out for a year. Like, it's people that can stick it out for 10.
Bitch, like be a kid, stick it out for a year, nigga. I don't know it.
Me, I ain't. You going to jail, nigga? I'm out. Like, that don't got nothing to do with.
So I know a lot of people want to know, like, especially if you have someone that's being released like in a year or in the next 6 months or maybe like 2 years from now, like, how do I find out if they're being released?
Okay, so same thing with the wellness check. You call a guidance counselor, or you can definitely call the lawyer. The lawyer is definitely going to become your wingman with this whole process. You need to be in contact with the lawyer as much as you're in contact with the family. And being in contact with the lawyer will grant you access to know everything about the inmate. The court dates, the release dates, the grants, the hearing dates, everything. They have everything for you. So definitely keep in contact with the lawyer.
So I know we didn't talk about that in the beginning. Like, say for example, like your boyfriend or your girlfriend literally just got locked up. Like, do I get a lawyer? And like, what if I don't got the bread? Like,
okay, they have a bunch, which a lot of people don't know. They have a bunch of lawyers that will fight for you and won't get paid till after the situation is done, like after the trial is done. A lot of people should know that. You don't have to just pay money, and not sometimes they give you a lawyer. That lawyer isn't so good. You know that legal aid, they have a bunch of paperwork. They're not really caring about your paperwork. They're just trying to get a motherfucking plea deal and get the fuck out of there. So, you know, definitely look into free what's it called when you get free consultations. That too, free consultations. They definitely work because you get second and third opinions on exactly what's going on without paying. That's the key, without paying. Cause bitch, I like something free all of the time. You
listen,
know?
okay.
Just if you do get a legal aid, make sure you on that nigga. No, call that nigga. Yeah. I need to know what's going on. Such as every motherfucking time.
Y'all want to know too, like, what if somebody in our family passed away? Like, can he or she come to the funeral, or like how does that work? Or what if we're expecting a baby soon? Like,
alright, that's kind of tricky. So a lot of times, like, it's very hard to get furloughed, which is trying to get someone that is in jail out to either do a birth of their child or whatever. That's very hard because you have to put in a motion, and 9 times out of 10 they won't grant it unless it has to be immediate family members, meaning mother, father, or siblings, and it's very hard. Like, the process takes a long time.
So like, can I buy them anything, or it's like a list of things I could buy them?
Yes.
Like, or if
they have a commissary list, which is just a list of things that they can buy in the jail. Some jails are different. Some jails have catalog jails where the inmates pick the stuff in a book and you just send them the money, or they have situations where you can go shopping for them and send them a package. And some packages have to be like, normally it'll be like no less than 35 pounds. So you put whatever they get, and a lot of stuff they can't get. So you have to look into that too. The jail they in, you gotta look and see what they can receive. Some people can't get certain name brand cookies, and you can find a generic brand and get them that instead. You know what I'm saying? Those some have either long socks, high socks, or gray socks. Can't have gray tip on the socks, or white socks. Like, it's just all depending on what jail they're in.
If you think like, you know, your boyfriend or girlfriend or a sibling have corona, or family member, like, how do we get in contact?
Well, right now, yeah, that's very important. I would say the same thing with the guidance counselor. Call, do a wellness check. Make sure that I was about to say something before I forgot. Make sure that they are definitely doing the wellness checks. Call 2 or 3 times. If they don't get back to you or they don't have an answer for you, call again.
Let's keep going.
And right now they're not doing visits, but they are doing virtual visits where you can see an inmate on via webcam. And make sure you guys do that too, because that you can see the person, you can see how they fit, how they look. They're malnourished. If they look like they're eating, if they look like they're not eating, if they look like they're freaking dying of a cold, you know what a nigga look like.
Exactly.
Like, so make sure you guys do those. You know, you can sign up at your, we're in New York, like I said, you can sign up NYC DOC. Sign up, make sure you do that.
Whichever state you in.
Yeah,
Department of Corrections website, whichever state you in. How many people can I bring with me to the jail?
It depends also what jail you in, and most of the time it's 3. You can have 3 people with you. If it's a real baby, that'll be like, you can have 3 people and then the little baby, because they don't really count the baby.
News? Like, can you send like pictures of your, or like how new can I be if I wanted,
All right, so you can't. Let's be technical.
Like, damn!
You can't send nudes, but you can beat the system, okay? Alright, so let me tell y'all. What you do is, you say you take a nice little cute picture. Bop, 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 pussy pic, bop, right? And then say, you take a nice little cute pussy pic, and You send the picture, but on the picture, you make sure that you scribble your privates out. Not with like a regular smudge marker, but like a mark and maybe a permanent marker, depending on the type of picture, if it's laminated or not.
Mm-hmm.
And the inmate can actually receive the picture and scratch it off.
Ooh, we just gave y'all some free motherfucking game, bitch.
Scratch it off. You know, like a scratcher snip.
Ooh.
And then he gonna scratch it. He gonna see my pussy.
Guys, that was our video. If you guys haven't already, please make sure you guys follow my best friend. She will be starting her channel soon. Please make sure you guys like the video. Put something in the comments if you haven't already. Make sure you motherfucking subscribe because you know we lit.
Lit.
We're giving that free game. Welcome to Mind to Matter. We love you guys, and it was so special meeting you guys today. And we out of here.